it, because like you said, we don't see a lot, but
Mm.
trust me, there are a lot of Black creators in the trenches, a lot of Black creators who
Yeah.
are down there trying to make it up there, trying to build up, trying to make their presence known and create this space that we're making. So we just all need to really be encouraging each other and having these moments where these people are, where people like you are platforming artists who are trying to make that space more available.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, quick side note, right? Like, hey, if you are a black manga artist, right? Like, and this is what you want to do, and you, like you said, you're in the trenches. Like Noah said, like I welcome you on this channel, like free of charge. You don't have to pay to come to platform your stuff. I hate that, bro. Like, I hate when people are trying to, like, you know, when you're like, you know, you're trying to like have someone or someone's trying to platform your stuff, and then like there's a cash block. We don't need that here, right? And like I said, but like at the beginning of this episode, like my main goal is platforming like guys like yourself, people like yourself, and being able to get it out there, right? Like, hey, we only at like 203 subs right now, but I guarantee you it's gonna get bigger, like, right? And I want whoever is a black manga artist, who like, if you're in the trenches right now in the Western space of manga or anime, bro, like you could come here, because I will hype you up. I will support you. You will be a supporter. You will have the links to your bio and all of that, to your link tree on my page, because like I believe in this, right? Like one of my best friends is a part of this, right? And I believe in him, and therefore I'm going to believe in you. Unless you really make trash content, then we gotta talk about it. But let me stop. Let me stop.
Not trash.
But bro, what do you see why do you think there's like a lack of representation? Like, kind of going back to the conversation, like, why do you think there's a lack of representation of black people? And do you see that shifting in the future as far as like in the Eastern like manga anime space?
I don't know if I see it shifting in the Eastern realm anytime soon, just because of the lack of people that are there. But I do see, like you said, going back to what we were saying, I think the lack of representation is just from who runs the media. Because even in the West, it's like we aren't the ones who have all the media platforms. The highest people up there are probably like, you know, the Tyler Perrys, the Kevin Harts.
Yeah.
And they're just getting to that age that they're no longer making said content, and they're trying to platform and create other industries to create spaces for these people. I just saw on Shark Tank a while ago, there's this company called Black Sands, and they made a deal with Kevin Hart. They were on Shark Tank. They made a deal with Kevin Hart was on there, and for his production company. And I think there is a shift happening because of things like that. Like, because I actually got Black Sands, when they were earlier on, they were reaching out to black artists who were making stories, and when I was one of the people they reached out to during that time. So to see someone who I have a connection with, who made a deal with a big time celebrity, I think that there is a shift going on, because we're gonna start getting these people into these spaces, and you're starting to see, like, even with Black Sands, I was just out in California, going to see my wife's family, and it's one of her aunts had some of the Black Sands volumes. I didn't even know she knew about that.
Look at that.
Exactly. So it's just, you're gonna start seeing these things in spaces that you didn't expect, but it's going to be there. And that's going to start the growth. It's going to be small, but it's going to keep going and going to keep growing. And I think we're at a prime time to be. This is the pioneer stage. We're at the pioneer stage. Like we're still not at the point that it's hot.
Yeah.
We're still like, because you know, black people are being more media and stuff like that, but manga and anime, this is the pioneer years. We are creating a whole new space, a whole new trend amongst this realm. So it's gonna be crazy. It's definitely gonna be crazy in the next couple of years. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, man. I'm excited too, bro. I'm excited to like yeah, just to see the growth, bro. Like I've definitely been trying to like you literally you and Secret Villains like are the only mangas that I've ever just fully read, like just like waiting for it to come out. So that's like, you know, but besides that, like I'm looking forward to the upcoming you know artists that are coming up and stuff. And
Yeah.
do you um do you do you think that I actually no. Let's go scrap that question. How many manga artists right now, like especially like black manga artists, do you know uh are like do they have like a spiritual background? Are they Christian? Like is this like a non-Christian space? It because mainly the vibe that I get from anime watchers and like manga like you know intakers is
Hmm.
that religion and just Christianity are just things that like they don't like, you know, they just throw it
Yeah.
away. They would rather like in a sense praise the character the MC that they like the most rather than actual praising God and like having a relationship with God. So like is that like is it like a thing? Like is this like a is it a spiritual place? Like are there Christians? Like I know a few, but I don't know. You might know more.
Yeah. Man, it's I also think that that's a thing that's also growing. I think that you can find a lot more Christians who like anime nowadays, who actually watch, and not just the basic shonens, not just the Dragon Ball Z's and the Naruto's and the One Pieces. You can find people who will be like, "Yo, like I watched Oran High School Host Club," or
Yeah.
"Yo, I watched Berserk," or "I watched." Is that there? I mean, is it right? I don't know. That's up for God to decide. But
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, um, we have these people who can still watch these things even if they before they were saved. Like it's like let's say that it was even before they were saved, they still take that time to relate to all these people. And I think that the anime space is growing within Christians. The manga space, I've met a decent amount of manga creators already who are Christians and growing in their faith and believers who I can have conversations with,
Yeah.
who I like one of my sisters in the faith. Her name is Craze Kai on Instagram. She's an amazing person who I've gotten to know and gotten to meet. Well, I haven't met her physically yet, but we've talked
Yeah.
on Instagram all the time, and we just had it's just like we have edifying conversations at times. It's just that isn't just surrounded by the faith aspect of it, but the creator aspect of it, and then
Yeah.
the anime and manga aspect of it. And when you apply all those things together within one space, you're like, yo, like God really can work in this space when you meet those kind of people. So I think it's starting to grow. I think it's starting to become a more fulfilling space with those kind of people, but it requires people like me and my other people who I know to be more open and expressive about what they know about the Lord, how they're growing in their faith. I
Hmm.
was talking to somebody the other day. They post a lot on their story and about Christian stuff, and I was like, "Yo, I just find it so awesome that you're starting to do this more." And she was like, "Yeah, like I've been having actual conversations with people too through it." And I was like, "Yo, that's amazing." Just
Yeah.
to post on your story, just simple stuff, like simple TikToks or reels or whatever. Just
Yeah.
posting that kind of stuff creates conversation. Now, I haven't had those conversations all the time with certain people, but there are different people who follow other people. So you never know who's going to be who's going to receive what's being said through the video or through the post to
Yeah.
the people on the other side of your screen. So I would say we just have to be more expressive and more open and willing to talk about it more than we do on a regular. Like it's great to talk about anime and all that kind of stuff. It's great to talk about these things, but there's a life-giving aspect to having true Holy Spirit filled edifying conversations where you're like, yo, I've been going through this, but God freed me, God redeemed me, God healed
Mm.
me. I was just having a conversation with my one of my good brothers the other day, and I told him something that I got free from. He was like, yo, like that edified me because I need that kind of freedom. Da, da,
Yeah.
da. And I was just like, yo, like it's like I didn't even know he was going through the same thing. And it's just like it's it's like the fact that he said like, yo, I needed this like right now. Like I needed
Yeah.
that today. Like you saying that right now, I needed that. And I'm like, that's the kind of conversation I want to have with people, and that's the kind of conversation I want to build with creators in this space. So I just want people to know that I am very open about this stuff. If anybody's curious, if anybody's unsure, if anybody's thinking, like I'm not gonna come out here and throw scripture at you. I don't come throw scripture at nobody. I just love on people. I love loving with people. I love loving on people, and I love talking to people about God because God is just the redeemer of all things, man.
Yeah. Wow, that's gold. That's gold, bro. Like any artist, like any Christian artist or Christian whatever you are, like yo, like you can be Christian and still make great content, and you don't have to shy away from your faith. Like I think you don't need to do that, right? Like if God redeems all things, He works through all things. He can work through you and your story and your art, and it could be amazing. It doesn't have to be like Pure Flix. It could be good, right? So
probably not.
Bro, last question for you. Any advice to like upcoming artists,